Hi there, Yolanda. It's nice to see that you have sent us an essay for correction. Let's take a look at what you wrote here. Okay, so the topic is international marketing. Here is what you said. Global marketing campaign is often considered as a form of occupation and encroachment for many nations, while it is regarded as indispensable and economical in the aspect of obtaining education as well as thoughts, cultures, and foreign languages. This essay agrees that the multinational campaign is beneficial to the industries and the people of the countries. This essay will discuss both points of view. Okay, let's see. So, the good news is that you included your position here. Okay, so you said that you agree with this idea, so that's important. I'm glad that you included that in your introduction since it clearly asks for your opinion. But I thought you could have done a little more with this first sentence, because essentially what it feels like is like you just found synonyms for the words in the prompt and then just changed those. So are you using your own language? Well, yes, as far as words are concerned, but I felt like the rest of it was literally just what we saw here, but no rephrasing, no new sentence structures. It was almost identical, just with different words. Okay, so I'd like to see you do a little more here in terms of rephrasing. So that's one thing. The other thing that I want to suggest is somehow combining these two sentences, so you don't have this essay agrees, this essay will discuss. You could have combined it, and then it would have been more cohesive, and you would have had a nice, perhaps a little longer sentence, but I think a better sentence overall. So one way you could have done that is something like this. This essay agrees that multinational marketing, not campaign, that's the wrong word here, is beneficial to industries and the people of countries, and we'll discuss both points of view. Okay, it's just something really that simple. You could see that I got rid of some of the thes. They were used inappropriately, and I also changed this word campaign because it was also inappropriate. Let's move on. There are two prominent advantages of cross-boundary campaigns. I don't like that word campaigns. I know you're trying to rephrase marketing, but there's some words that you really just shouldn't rephrase, and that's one of them. So I want you to be careful here. It looks like you hit enter and then begin your paragraph, the rest of your paragraph. It's not a good idea. Let it flow into one block of text, because this kind of makes it look like you're going to give me a bulleted list, and you don't want to do that, all right? So don't hit enter, don't skip lines, just continue with one continuous block of text. So firstly, international brands enhance a country's competence by inspiring youngsters to develop a global vision. Okay, you can see I'm getting rid of some of your thes because they're just too much. You don't need them. For instance, a basketball tournament is annually organized by for teenagers by Nike, a top sports company in more than 40 countries, and the worldwide games enable the players to challenge the foreigners. I don't understand that. What does that mean exactly? This branding activity assists the grow-ups. I don't know what that means. Grown-ups, adults, is that what you mean? Then you should have just said assists adults in better understanding the keys in rivalry in a broader stage. I'm not really clear about this. I'm not really clear about this. I don't know how this example is relevant. I mean, if you're telling me that Nike organizes an activity, and it is in a sense like a marketing effort, then yeah, but the things that you said after that were a little unclear, how they relate to international marketing and how they relate to the elements of international marketing that we saw here, spreading ideas, language, and culture. So you need to extend that a little further. Now, look what you did here. Again, you hit enter, and then you started. So I don't want you to do this. Again, each paragraph needs to be a continuous block of text. Believe me, examiners are looking at this kind of thing. So just be aware of it. The second valuable part is that the domestic enterprises can evolve to be experts in gaining more market shares in other regions by learning from the exotic campaigns. All right, this is inaccurate language here, exotic campaigns. You could have just said foreign marketing. And then get rid of the, can evolve to be experts. Okay, that's fine. Without the penetration of global brands in the cities of Bangladesh, the garments companies of this country would not have been aware of how to acquire the dominant position, which they possess now in Asian and in European markets. So get rid of these commas. You don't really need them here. Let's see. Okay, that's fine in terms of explaining your position, so that's good. I guess this would be talking about ideas, right? This is spreading ideas. All right, that's fine. It's on topic. I just want to make sure that it's on topic. It is. I feel that's fine. Okay, so no problems there. And I think you just needed to do a better job here. So let's move on to your next paragraph. Admittedly, it is possible that the incomes of local companies would shrink in the process of globalization. However, this situation always stimulates the enterprises to produce merchandise, no S here, of higher quality and at lower costs, which levels up their competency in turn. Huawei was inferior in the battle of smartphone marketing in 2014, but it has finally replaced the great Apple as the largest in the Chinese market after 5 years. In this period, the Chinese mobile phone enterprise has enhanced its technology and has ameliorated the techniques in manufacturing, ing, which decreased expenses. Okay. This feels off topic for me. You're supposed to be discussing how international marketing is an invasion, how it is an intrusion, and you didn't do that here, okay? I didn't see that at all. So you're basically just talking about how international marketing, I'm not really sure what you're trying to talk about here. You're talking about how there's this threat to local companies from the big multinational giants, but this is just an example of how a company like Huawei improved and kind of rose beyond this. So you're not really discussing this view, not really. I mean, you just very quickly said, yeah, it's true that it could happen, but hey, look, we've got this example of how this actually turned out to be a wonderful thing. You needed to do more about this particular view, about how it's an invasion, about how it's an intrusion. There just wasn't enough of that, an invasion and intrusion into the country in question. So kind of like talking a little bit more about the negative side of this, rather than spinning it to say, yeah, but look now, Huawei is this giant in China, okay? All right, so to conclude, worldwide marketing is promoting the overall growth of nations, get rid of your the here, especially for the young generation, for local companies, and many potential negative factors could be converted into positive ones. Okay, now let's talk about one additional thing that I want to mention. You decided to talk about the positives of international marketing first. This is not something I want you to do. You should leave that for the last paragraph. So it should be introduction and then the side that you don't really support. And then you need to talk about the side that you do support. Okay? This is the logical organization of paragraphs that makes the paragraph that you support seem stronger and gives it more weight. So that's another thing. So there are some nice elements to your essay, Yolanda, but I do think that there is some work that you could do to improve it and potentially get an even higher score in your IELTS. So I'd like you to look into some of the additional options to work with us. As you probably know, we have the online course, which is comprehensive, but we also have some essay packages that you might want to look into as well. So see what suits you, and I look forward to working with you again in the future. Good luck.